Just how far can Naoya Inoue go? The two-time undisputed champion just stopped TJ Doheny the other day. It was a pretty weird stoppage, as it looked like Inoue was playing with his food at first. Then out of nowhere, Doheny starts holding his back and limping. It sort of gave me vibes that he was looking to quit from the beatdown that Inoue was giving him, or about to give him more. But a lot of fans are getting annoyed with Inoue. They are mad at the fact that he keeps fighting in Japan, thinking he's up to no good, whether it's steroids, hand wraps, or just plain old home field advantage. I think a lot of that hate is unnecessary. He is arguably the pound-for-pound best boxer in the world, two-time undisputed, current undisputed champion. He calls the shots. If guys want title shots, they go to Japan. They go off Inoue's terms. Now, do I still want to see him fight in America and the UK? Absolutely. Not because I think he's going to struggle or be tested, but it's for his own sake. I want to see his name get bigger. I want to see his brand get bigger. I want to see him get the recognition that he deserves. I feel like only people in Japan and people who follow boxing know who Inoue is. Compare that to Manny Pacquiao from the Philippines. Whether you're a boxing fan or not, you most likely knew who Pacquiao was or heard the name. So I would just like to see him get fights in other areas for his own sake and to grow his name. And I just want to point out, Inoue has had 3 fights in America already, and he won all of them, and they were all championship fights. Whether he fights in America or not, the results are still going to be the same. So what's next for Inoue? I've been saying for a while that he is unbeatable from 120 to 130 for like the next 5 years. He does have some flaws to his game, like letting his hands drop and letting his face open. We saw it sometimes with the Doheny fight. Then we saw him get dropped in the Neri fight. But then we saw what happened after that. He turned into a monster. We all want to see him move up. I would love to see him fight Nick Ball at featherweight in Wembley. It would be an insane fight. But when you look at Inoue's build and frame, I think super featherweight might be his max. Anything more than that, he could be really pushing it. By the time he's ready to make 135 lightweight, he will be pretty old. He certainly can't beat guys like Tank, Shakur, and Loma now. But obviously those guys, their time will be up when Inoue is ready to move up to 135. A lot of people are calling for a Tank Inoue fight. That's just ridiculous. We know that. Everybody wants to see, of course, Inoue bump up to get beat by Tank. All the Tank fanboys are saying that just to say, Tank's the best. Being a little guy like Inoue, they're not ready for that. But eventually, okay, I'm sure Inoue could pick up a vacant belt against a guy who doesn't have much power or doesn't have much skill. We see it from time to time. Now, it's not always about what the fans want, though. It's about what Inoue wants, what the promoter wants, Bob Arum, what the team wants. I think it would be smart for Inoue to have one more defense as super bantamweight in Japan, wherever, before moving up. Treat that fight as a tune-up before moving up to featherweight, because let's be honest, any fight at super bantamweight right now is a tune-up. Nobody is beating Inoue at super bantamweight, I promise you that. If he wants to move up to featherweight next, well then, get him a tune-up fight there before getting a title shot. But it looks like, though, Bob Arum said that after the Doheny fight that he will have one more defense in Japan before going to America. There's other fights rumored. Of course, Nakatani, which, if that fight's going to happen, it needs to happen in Japan. There's rumors that's going to happen in Vegas. That would make no sense. I'm not even Japanese, not even from Japan. But if I was Japanese, alright, I had 2 of the biggest boxers ever to come out of the country fight in a different country, not Japan, not in the Tokyo Dome. Man, I would be disappointed in boxing. I'd be so mad. That fight should happen in Japan, whether it's the next fight or a fight 2 years, 2025, whenever. That fight needs to happen in Japan for the sake of just Japan and boxing. But like Arum said, he is supposed to come to America next year. Now, we don't know if that's at featherweight or not, but some good fights at featherweight could be Ray Vargas, Luis Lopez, Rafael Espinoza, Angelo Leo, are all good fights to be made in Vegas, okay, Mexican and American fighters. Nick Ball and Leigh Wood, I'd rather see that in Wembley, but I think those are really good fights to be made. He should move up. Now, I don't want to say rush him, right? You never want to rush a boxer moving up. Don't want him to be uncomfortable, but to save his greatness. Now, there's not really any greatness to be saved. He's amazing, but to really become an all-time great, like a guy that people will talk about forever, people that non-boxing fans know about, spread your name around. It's best for you to fight in America, best for you to fight in Europe. Go on a world tour. It's good for that. It helps you build your brand, because at the end of the day, what boxing is a business. Professional boxing is a business. It's about money. You're putting your life on the line. Get that money. All right, he makes a lot of money in Japan, but he can make so much more fighting in America, fighting in the UK, even fighting in Saudi Arabia. He can make so much more, and I want to see that for a guy like Inoue. He's a good fighter. He deserves the recognition. I want to see him fight, bump up Nick Ball, Leigh Wood, Angelo, Leo. Those are all good fights. Ray Vargas, Luis Lopez, these are all good fights to be made at featherweight. Now, of course, I mentioned earlier in the video, everybody wants to see a Tank fight. Relax. That fight's not going to happen. It's a stupid fight to happen. The rumors need to be shut down. Alright, he needs to move up to featherweight by next year, whether he gets a super bantamweight fight beforehand or not. End of 2025, he should be fighting in the featherweight division, having a fight in America, find a good opponent, and he's already an all-time great, but that could really solidify that. I'd rather see him win a title at featherweight than bump up to junior lightweight and win a title, rather than see him go undisputed there. That'd be crazy, but I think that's pushing it. I'd rather see him bump up to junior lightweight and get those fights. That'd be crazy. I think he go undisputed at featherweight. It's pushing it. It's going to be very hard. No undisputed in junior lightweight, but who am I to say? Alrighty, Marco Antonio Barrera, he moved up. Didn't go undisputed, I'm not saying. Manny Pacquiao went all the way up to super welterweight. Alrighty. If those guys could do it, Inoue could, but it goes back to the build. Alrighty, I don't know if Inoue could fill out like that. But either way, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Who should Inoue fight? How far could he go? I think he'd go all the way to junior lightweight and be undefeated and win titles. I'm excited to see how his career unfolds still. Only 31 years old. He has another 4 or 5 years of his true prime. Speed, power. I want to see him make the most out of that. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.